I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win, yeah. Refuse, mine, it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found a time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it, they told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie, I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like told me, keep on running, toes they gon' take a few to lose. Built to win, apply myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win, yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win, apply myself.
Welcome back to CTC. I'm your gracious host, Carl, and I'm here to preview. We got 9 games to preview today. Before we do that, I'd like to ask that you like, comment, share, subscribe to the video. It helps the channel, it helps the network, helps my channel, CTC, by the way, the Refuse to Lose family. I got to shout out the other shows real quickly. Got to shout out the main show featuring Joe, Tomo, and Dave. Have to shout out BWT Baseball with Teddy. My Tigers took a slug yesterday to the Red Sox. Sucks. I mean, I didn't watch it because MSU, which recaps coming Sunday, but yeah. We have FFC Fantasy Football with Coach Coombs. The R2L family just had their R2L draft. I know a lot of people having their drafts coming up. Football starts in 5 days. Next Thursday, we have Ravens Chiefs Week 1 action. Got to talk about RBO, Real Ballers Only, featuring Vaughn, NBA content, everything NBA goes through him. Dave's Doghouse, the highlights and lowlights of sports. He makes dogs and put dogs in a doghouse, so check him out. We have why am I blanking? Kings Talk with Joe Jordan. Kings Talk, anything Sacramento Kings goes through Joe. We have In the Red Corner featuring Ty, Ricky, and Tomo. All boxing news goes through them. And last but certainly not least, we have the new show Unfazed featuring Joe and AJ. Excuse me. Again, I think more of a debate platform, but they went over their division winners in the NFL and their order of the NFL division, so check them out as well. But like, comment, subscribe to those channels, and if you like what you're listening to, stick with us. Now, I'm going to briefly go over these previews real quick. I got 9, like I said, before I get ready to go to work. As y'all can see, eyes are red, my eyes are low, because I'm tired. Stayed up to watch basically the entirety of the Stanford TCU game for y'all. I stayed up until the onside kick, until TCU caught the onside kick, and I was like, all right, I can go to sleep because TCU should win this. So, again, I stayed up that late. I actually woke up late. I was supposed to be up at 6 o'clock to do this show. Woke up at 6:30 because I slept right through my alarm. But again, enough rambling. Let's get to it. First game I got for y'all is Georgia versus Clemson. Now, the reason why I say that is because it's a neutral site in Atlanta, which neutral site. It's basically somewhat of a Georgia home game, but Clemson's not too far away, but it's in Atlanta, Georgia. Georgia's favored by 12.5 points. Oh, I forgot the right. I'll just say it. I forgot the right way you can catch these games, but you can catch this game at 12 o'clock on ABC. As y'all know, as I do my previews, I do 5 keys for each side of each team to see how they can win the game, and then I pick a winner. So for Clemson, they have to force Georgia to be in 3rd and longs. Georgia likes to run the ball. They like to play good defense. They like to be in 3rd and shorts. I know Carson Beck can convert 3rd and longs, but he doesn't want to, and Kirby Smart doesn't want him in consistent 3rd and longs. They have to win the battle in the trenches. Again, like I said, they like to run the ball, play good defense. If you can stop the run, if you can get in that backfield, if you can bully Georgia's defensive line, which is very tough to do, you'll have a good chance of winning that game. Try to rely on Phil Maffa. Try to get him the ball. He runs downhill. He runs so hard. Try to get him in the teeth of the defense. Try to wear that Georgia defense down. Can these receivers on the outside win? Last year, I felt like they were young. They even lost a receiver to Notre Dame, but I felt like they were young. Couldn't really win on the outside. It's tough getting separation. Cade Klubnik needs to help Cade Klubnik, who didn't really, in my opinion, play well last year. He had his moments, but overall didn't look good. And they got to create turnovers. You can't have Georgia playing mistake-free football. You got to get the ball. You got to get extra possessions to try to get extra points that wouldn't be there without a pick, a fumble, or something of that nature. For Georgia, they have to establish Trevor Etienne early. Again, same thing. You want to run at Etienne. You want to wear this defense down because Clemson is also known as a defensive team. Force Cade Klubnik to beat you. If Georgia got Cade Klubnik slinging the rock around because the run game is ineffective, that very much suits Georgia. Make Clemson have to score points. Again, that suits Georgia because I feel like Georgia can score points against Clemson. I don't know if Clemson can put up too many points against Georgia, consistently anyway. And then Carson Beck has to use his security blankets, Oscar Delp and Ben Yurcek. You already had a really good tight end at Oscar Delp. You went in the transfer portal and got a really good tight end in Ben Yurcek. You have to use him. He's definitely a receiving threat. Let them expose the middle of the field and win the turnover battle. Because if you definitely turning Clemson over, you already have a high probability of winning, but that increases that probability with turnovers. And Cade Klubnik is a quarterback who can give you turnovers. But with that being said, I have Georgia winning this game. I think Georgia's just a better team, better quarterback, better in every position, to be honest, even at running back with Trevor Etienne. I'm not sure if I trust Cade Klubnik against a team of Georgia's caliber, so I'll take Georgia in the win there against Clemson. That's some comments real quick. Shout out my boy Teddy. He says, my guy. And then he says, Georgia money line. Definitely agree there. We got to move on to Penn State at West Virginia. Again, that's for throughout. I forgot the right way you can catch these games. So throughout, I will tell you where you can catch these games. Georgia at West Virginia, you can catch 12 o'clock on Fox. For Penn State, I said Georgia and Clemson. Penn State, West Virginia, 12 o'clock on Fox. So for Penn State, establish Nick Singleton, and I'm going to put Katron Allen, just establish that run game at Penn State. West Virginia last year was really good at stopping the run with their front seven. Penn State, really good establishing the run. So you got to do that. Has the passing game improved with Drew Allard, question mark? If Drew Allard is an improved passer and becomes the quarterback that people thought he would be last year, coming into Penn State, coming into his first year with Penn State starting, Penn State would be dangerous if he can attack the downfield. Now, some of it this year might be receiving weapons because they lost some weapons. They lost Lambert Smith. They lost, I can't remember his name. Oh, they lost Cephas, which they barely used, but yeah, they lost some weapons. But they did get Julian Fleming. So has the passing game improved? Contain Garrett Green, who had a breakout year, in my opinion, last year for West Virginia. Can run the ball, can throw the ball. Pretty decent quarterback. Push around the West Virginia front four again. That was like the strength of the defense for West Virginia last year, that front seven. But if you can move that front four again to the second level, that always helps with rushing attack, especially with two running backs that Penn State had of that caliber. And then load the box. Now, I said, that's the wrong one. That's West Virginia, excuse me. I said put West Virginia in third and longs. I understand. I know I just said Garrett Green had a breakout year, but Garrett Green is not going to consistently beat a Penn State with his arm on third and longs. If you're West Virginia, you want to run the ball with C.J. Donaldson and try to get third and manageables. And if you Penn State, again, you want to put them in third and longs. Now for West Virginia, make Penn State pass because, again, the rushing attack is what Penn State leans on heavily. And we don't know if Drew Allard is an improved passer. So make him show West Virginia that he is. Load the box. Now that helps again because loading the box, you stop the run or you give Penn State the looks like, hey, we want you to beat us throwing. We're daring you to beat us throwing the ball. Contain Drew Allard because yes, as I question him and his passing abilities, or at least within the Penn State offense, he also has legs and he could run and he's not really hard to bring. He's not really easy to bring down. So you got to contain him. Win on third downs. That's on both offense and defense. If you win in on third downs, 5 for 11, 6 for 11, instead of 1 of 11, 2 of 11, or whatever the case, I know I use 11 a lot, but if you're winning on third downs, you keep the ball, you drain the clock, etc. Get home crowd into it early because this is a home to home. Last year was at Penn State, this year's at West Virginia, and that West Virginia crowd is ruckus. They're rowdy. If you can get the home crowd into it with some big plays, whether it's a pass, a run, a turnover, that bodes well for your team. It gives you that momentum and that confidence. But in the end, I am going with Penn State to win. I don't think it's going to be as bad as last year. And Penn State, I might need you to cover the spread like you did last year. Y'all made a concerted effort to cover the spread last year. Can y'all do it again this year? But yeah, I just think Penn State is the more dominant team. Not to take nothing away from West Virginia. I do think West Virginia is a good Big 12 team. But I think Penn State is a really well-balanced Big 10 team with a really good defense, really good run game. Again, passing game really yet to be shown, but they think they do have the capability to passing the ball. But we'll see. Drew Lar. Next game after these comments. Why is Notre Dame dogs? Probably because they're on the road at Cal Field. That's probably why. That's what I assume. I think the home field advantage for Texas A&M gives them the point boost to make them a favorite. And he said Penn State money line. I agree there. Virginia Tech at Vanderbilt. You can catch this game 12 o'clock on ESPN. Virginia Tech is favored by 13.5 points. For Virginia Tech, they have to run Kyron Drones, run him well because he has legs. And if you do, you have a great running back with Bashar Tootin back there as well. It's that added dynamic. Make Vandy have to keep up on offense. I wrote it too close. I wrote it like upon. But yeah, keep up on offense. I don't think Vanderbilt scores many points. Vanderbilt is just not a good team. They're in the SEC, but they're just not a good team. And if you make them have to score and score and score, I don't think they could keep up. Get Vandy on third and longs. Again, they lost talent at the receiver spot. They lost Will Shepard. They lost Jaden McGowan. They lost AJ Swan at quarterback. So a lot of their offense is kind of a mystery. So I would put them in third and longs and see what they do. And for Virginia Tech, you got to get in third and shorts because that opens up the playbook. It opens up read options with drones. It's Tootin. It opens up a quarterback design run. It opens up the actual run, and obviously it opens up the pass with third and short. Has Kyron Drones improved as a passer? I think that's a valid question to ask. I think Kyron Drones has a strong arm. I do think he has arm talent, but is he more of a consistent passer this year? I think while you do want to use his legs, he has to show that he has the ability to consistently make throws. So that's a good question. Now for Vanderbilt, make Kyron Drones beat you passing because you don't want him to run all day. You don't want Virginia Tech to run all day because I don't think they're going to fumble. And it's a way to, like, if they're able to run on you, that's clock control, then it leads to touchdowns. And again, you don't want to have to keep up with Virginia Tech. Get the Ricky Wright moving on the defensive end. I think the Ricky Wright is a really good safety for Vanderbilt. Want to keep him moving. Want to, make the offense, guess where he's at on the defensive end. Contain Kyron Drones' legs. Again, don't let him run all over you because that allows them to set up them third and shorts. Try to, read options, touch him. You can hit him because it's an option. You don't know if you got the ball. You can hit him. Try to contain him there. Spies on passing plays, things like that. Be prepared to defend the option with Drones and Bashul. Pretty self-explanatory there. And someone has to step up at the receiver spot because, again, they lost Will Shepard and Jaden McGowan at those spots. So somebody's going to have to step up. But I think Virginia Tech wins. And I think they actually win easily, especially if Virginia Tech is as good as everybody thinks they are, including myself. I have them doing pretty well this year. So Virginia Tech is going to have to dominate a pretty bad SEC school in Vanderbilt to show that they are good. Next, we have South Dakota State at Oklahoma State. In this game, you can catch on ESPN Plus at 2 o'clock. Oklahoma State comes in ranked 17th in the country. South Dakota State comes in as back-to-back FCS champions. For South Dakota State, they have to stop Ollie Gordon. That's going to be the formula for everybody. Stop Ollie Gordon. They're going to have to make Alan Bowman beat you with his arm. I feel like Alan Bowman, while he can throw the ball, Oklahoma State offense is obviously relying on Ollie Gordon. If Ollie Gordon doesn't get going and Alan Bowman has to make plays, you have a pretty good chance at winning the game. Establish your own run game if you South Dakota State because that's what you do, man. You play pretty much like pro style. You want to run the ball to open up the pass. It's win on third downs, especially on on offense. On offense, you have to win. You have to keep the drive moving. You have to play clock control. You have to score touchdowns. And I think, my last one is score touchdowns instead of field goals. You can't settle for field goals. 4th and 1s, 4th and 2s, maybe. Gotta go for it. Try to score touchdowns. Get in the end zone. Now, if you're Oklahoma State, you have to get Ollie Gordon going. You got to open up holes for him to get 4 or 5 yards, maybe 10, 15 every now and then. Can Brandon Presley or Rashad Owens get 100 yards receiving? If they could open up the passing game with Ollie Gordon going, one of those two guys have to go off. Stay in third and shorts. I just think that's better for that style of offense if they can stay in 31s, 33s or less, because, again, it gives you that threat of Ollie Gordon. You're not just pinning your ears back and rushing Allen Bowman. Win the turnover battle, which is I don't think either one of these teams really turn the ball over. If anything, I do think Oklahoma State does. But you're at home. One turnover gets the crowd way into it. So if you win in the turnover battle, that just gives your team more momentum. And win the battle up front, because I do think, although South Dakota State is an FCS school, I do think the battle up front in the trenches will be major. So I have to win up front. But I'm going to go with Oklahoma State to win. But like I said with Colorado, I'm going to go with them to win. But I think it's close. I know South Dakota State right now is plus 9.5 at plus 100. I like those odds. I'm going to take them. But I do think Oklahoma State wins that game. Virginia Tech money line said Teddy, and I agree there. Miami, the big game. Miami University at Florida. Huge game, 3:30 on ABC. Miami comes into the game ranked 19th in the country. Huge rivalry game in the Swamp. For Miami, Cam Ward has to take care of the football. Now, the reason why I say that is because now I get it. It's early Cam Ward, and early Cam Ward normally do be cooking. But this is a really good opponent in a really loud environment. And mid-season Cam Ward kind of be turning the ball over. Can't do that in the Swamp. You can't allow the Swamp to get good ruckus. And now Florida got endless momentum. We see Florida time and time again upset teams in the Swamp because of that alone. Use Damian Martinez and Cam Ward read options just to get the defense on their toes, keep them honest. Get the ball to Xavier Restrepo in space. I mean, he's a punt returner. He's good with the ball in space. Have to give him the ball in space and let him try to make plays. Put pressure on Graham Mertz. Let's just see what Graham Mertz do. Does he fold? Is he actually going to step up in the pocket, make plays? Is he going to be able to diagnose the pressure? Let's see what he do. And don't let Montrell Johnson control the game on the ground, because, again, if Montrell Johnson got the ball running on the ground, playing clock control, keeping your offense off the field does not bode well for Miami. Now, for Florida, you got to contain Cam Ward in his legs. He's going to be able to run the ball. You can't let him get outside the pocket and run the ball. I mean, Cam Ward, he can do it. He really don't. In my opinion, he really don't want to run, but he will if he has to win the game. Graham Mertz has to be completely accurate. He has to be accurate, especially against a really good Miami defense being projected this game. Got to be accurate. And Florida receiving core is not really touted. Get Trey Wilson involved in the passing game early. It's kind of like what they did against Tennessee last year in the Swamp. If y'all remember, got the ball to Trey Wilson, I think like 4 or 5 times on the first drive. Get him involved, move it down the field, try to score some points early. Have to contain a high-powered offense, just like how North Dakota State had to contain Colorado. They're going to have to contain a Miami offense that boasts a lot of good players. And one way to do that is clock control, keeping them off the field. And then muck the game up, yes, pun intended, because they are in the Swamp. So you got to make the game ugly. You can't allow Miami to come out there and look pretty, look clean, make the game nasty, make the game to where you're hanging around late and you have a chance to win it. But with that being said, I'm going with Miami. I'm going with Miami because I'm projecting Miami to be really, really well. And this is a really good test. I'm not super high on Florida. Now, part of it is because of the schedule. They do have a gauntlet of a schedule. But another part of it is I just don't think their offense is good enough. Well, I think Miami offense is stupendous, and I really do like early season Cam Ward. I like Cam Ward, period, but early season Cam Ward be going crazy. So I'm going to rely on that and bank on that, as Miami is my pick to win there. Next, I got a mid-major group of 5 showdown between North Texas and South Alabama, 5 o'clock on ESPN Plus. Got to change the banner. On ESPN Plus, 5 o'clock, South Alabama favored by 6.5 points in that game at home. For North Texas, can Chandler Morris make plays with his arm and his leg? The TCU transfer kind of got phased out at TCU by Josh Hoover, who got the win last night for TCU. Can he come to North Texas and make plays? Replacing a lot of talent on the offensive end. Who steps up for North Texas? They do replace a lot production for North Texas. Really good offensive team last year. Not so good defensively last year. See who steps up there. Can they run an efficient up-tempo offense? I think they're going to run pace tempo with Chandler Morris. So will it be efficient? Will it be one of those where, like Jack State Thursday, where they was running fast up-tempo offense, but they were getting 3 and outs, and that's not efficient because you barely kill clock. You keep giving Coastal Carolina extra possessions, and they go down and score. Can't do that for North Texas. Nope. Have to score touchdowns against a decent South Alabama defense. Again, they're going to have to score because I don't know what this North Texas defense looks like, but it was not good last year. And if it's going to be like it was last year, then they're going to have to score some points because South Alabama is going to be able to go up and down the field. And you got to get off the field on defense because, again, this defense was bad last year. Show me that your defense has improved, that you can get off the field, and that you can consistently get the ball back for your offense for them to try to put up points, especially if their offense is just as good as it was last year. Now, for South Alabama, they too have to replace production and Colin Lacey and LaDamian Webb. LaDamian Webb now gone to the next level, and Colin Lacey at Louisville rest up. He's hurt. I think he's out for 6 to 8 weeks. But yeah, both of those key contributors are now gone. And Carter Bradley, too. He's in the NFL. Have to force Chandler Morris to turn the ball over. That was something that Chandler Morris can do. He can turn the rock over. So you can get one of those early. Definitely helps the home crowd. Defense has to be stout. You got to be stout because Chandler Morris, he could run, he could pass. Again, he might give you a turnover, but that's when the defense has to come into play. And have to score touchdowns on a bad defense last year. Self-explanatory. Talked about North Texas defense enough. And can Jamal Pritchard step in as wide receiver 1 for Colin Lacey? Jamal Pritchard had a pretty good year behind Colin Lacey last year, looking to step in and be that number 1 guy. Can he put up Colin Lacey-like numbers? But my winner is going to be South Alabama, and the reason is defense. South Alabama looks to be a better defense than North Texas. I have to see it to believe it that North Texas can play defense. So until then, I'm going to roll with South Alabama to win the game. The next game is UNLV at Houston, 7 o'clock on FS1. UNLV, feed Ricky White the ball. Run, Ricky won't run. Self-explanatory, best player on the team, and Ricky White got to feed him the ball. Jada Maeva's replacement has to be dual threat. Now, the reason why I put that is because even this morning when I looked up a starting quarterback for UNLV, they haven't picked one yet. So they probably won't pick one until game time. With that being said, he just got to be able to run and throw the ball because that was what was huge with UNLV last year, the threat of Maeva running the football. Force Donovan Smith to turn the ball over, which he can be prone to doing. He has a strong arm, so he feels like sometimes he could throw in tight windows. Got to be there to capitalize on those for UNLV. Have to get off the field on 3rd down against Houston. Crowd gonna be ruckus. Defense, a Big 12 school, bigger trenches. Got to get off the field on both sides of the ball. Offensively, you got to keep drives going. Defensively, you got to get off the field to get the offense the ball. And they're going to need splash plays because, again, the crowd is going to be ruckus. One way to shush a ruckus home crowd, 20-yard play, 30-yard play, touchdown for 40 yards out. Big plays normally hushes a home crowd. Now, if you're Houston, Donovan Smith has to be accurate. Again, the strong arm guy can miss throws, can try to force throws and windows. Got to avoid that. Have to make plays with his legs because he can do it. He definitely can. He's been doing that since Texas Tech. Trenches has to bully UNLV trenches, running the ball, defensively getting in the backfield, just playing in the backfield. Score early to get the home crowd involved again. As I said, the opposite. The latter is true. If you score the ball, the offense gets the home crowd right into it and gains a lot of momentum. And feed Joseph Manjack, who's probably going to be one of the best weapons on this Houston offense. You got to feed him the ball, give him the ball in open space, and let him make plays. And I think Houston wins this game. Houston, I'm a reason why I pick Houston is because UNLV, although we do like UNLV at CTC, I just don't know what the starting quarterback is going to do. Jaden Maivia was heaven set for them. Really good Mountain West team. But I feel like they can be had in the trenches, and that's key for most football games. We got a comment. Teddy, Kev said up early with the college football knowledge. Shout out to Almanac. Appreciate you, my boy. I'm only up early because I got to be at work. I actually got to be at work in 35 minutes, but that ain't happening. And I got to get this out. So shout out to you for watching. We got another ranked matchup tonight in 7th ranked Notre Dame at 20th ranked Texas A&M. You can catch this game 7:30 on ABC. Texas A&M is favored as 2.5 point favorites, like Teddy alluded to earlier. Like I said, probably because it's at Cal Field. But Notre Dame, Riley Leonard has to be accurate through the air. Riley Leonard is a great athlete, can run the ball, read options, tough runners, tough to bring down. But he has to be accurate through the air. I know Riley Leonard can pass the ball. Sometimes it could be a little suspect. Be prepared to stop with Connor Wegman on the ground. Connor Wegman is a guy that can use his legs. I think Connor Wegman is more so of a guy that wants to beat you with his arm in the pocket, but he can run the ball. Have to stop a multi-back attack, and that's with Le'Veon Moss and Ruben Owens in the backfield. And I think they still got Amari. Is it Amari Daniels? I think they still even got him in the backfield for Texas A&M. So they're going to run the ball at you with different guys, and you got to be ready to stop all of them. And you got to establish Jeremiah Love. A big part of Notre Dame last year was Audric Estime, who's now in the NFL at the Broncos, which I believe he made the team. But Jeremiah Love looks in to step up and step in that role and do just exactly what Audric Estime did. And you got to win the turnover battle because you're in Cal Field. You can't afford late turnovers. You can't afford a turnover, period, let alone a late one. But you can't afford to give Texas A&M multiple cracks at your defense, who's going to be stout, by the way. This is going to be a defensive battle, and you can't give them multiple shots at them. For Texas A&M, open lanes for Le'Veon Moss and Ruben Owens. Self-explanatory, get the run game going. Try not to throw the ball. I wouldn't say much, but you don't really want to throw the ball against a defense who has Xavier Watts and Benjamin Morrison. Need splash plays from home crowd. You know, it's a lot of things. You need a period because Texas A&M lacks the splash play, even with guys like Evan Stewart and Anaya Smith and those guys last year. They lack the splash play. Got to become better at getting more of those. Have to contain Riley Leonard's legs. Again, a guy who's tough to bring down, tough runner. Going to have to bring him down. Avoid Benjamin Morrison and Xavier Watts. Enough said. Xavier Watts has 7 picks. Benjamin Morrison, one of the best corners in my opinion. I think I picked him to win the Jim Thorpe. So try to find areas where they're not at and throw there. And Connor Wegman has to take care of the ball again. Just winning the turnover battle and the defensive struggle, which I think this game will be. You got to win a turnover battle. But with that being said, I think Notre Dame wins this game. Now, part of me says that is because Texas A&M issue has never been defensively. It's always been offensively, and then Mike Elko is hired as the coach who's a defensive head coach. Now, again, he's going to bring his offensive coordinator on, but I have to see it. I just have to see Texas A&M with an offense. It just has not been happening recently, and so until I see it, I'm going to go with Notre Dame. I think Notre Dame is going to have the better rushing attack, especially with Riley Leonard. Then they're going to have I think they're going to I just had it. I think it's going to be a better offense, period. I lost my thought that fast. That is insane. Move on to the last game I got for y'all today, which is Fresno State at 9th ranked Michigan. You can catch this game 7:30 on NBC. Michigan comes in as 20.5 point favorites. For Fresno State, Mikey King has to sling the rock around. If Mikey King can drop back, find guys in open space, that bodes well for Fresno State, especially Fresno State being a pass-happy offense. But while being a pass-happy offense, they have to establish Malik Sherrod and Elijah Gilliam. I like Malik Sherrod. I think he was almost a 1,000-yard rusher last year. They have a pretty decent backfield, but it's going to be tough to do against this Michigan's front seven. Have to stop Donovan Edwards. Michigan's offense is a lot predicated on the run. So if you can slow down Donovan Edwards, which is going to be hard to do for a Mountain West team like Fresno State, but if you can slow him down, it may bode well for you. have to force multiple turnovers. You're going to have to create multiple extra possessions if you're Fresno State. In a game where Michigan is heavily favored at home, you got to create extra opportunities to go score. And you got to and then you got to block up Mason Graham. Mason Graham is looking to wreak havoc in your backfield. He's looking to get straight to Mikey King. You got to protect Mikey King and block Mason Graham. Now, if you're Michigan, you got to force Mikey King interceptions because you don't want him in rhythm. You want him shook in the big house. You don't want him to get – once he catches a rhythm, Mikey King can become dangerous. So you want him to turn the ball over to get, shook at home on the road. Let Donovan Edwards run over Fresno State. Donovan Edwards is looking to be one of the best players on Michigan this year. He's now the lead guy in the backfield with Blake Corum leaving. So run the rock with him and let's see what he do. Then you got to use a security blanket with Colston Loveland. Now, I say this because, again, I went to go look and see who Michigan named as the starter. Still no starter yet. Even 2 days ago, they were up until game time, they won't name a starter. So with that being said, we don't know who's going to start, but whoever it is going to be pretty inexperienced. And for guys like that, you want to use your tight end. And Will Johnson, this is kind of not a key. I just said Will Johnson will catch a pick. Will Johnson, one of the best corners in the country. I think he will catch a pick against Mikey King. I think just because I think he's that good. And then keep putting Fresno State in 3rd and longs to Hunt. Now, I know Fresno State likes to throw the ball, but you don't want to keep going to 3rd and longs, especially with a front four like that who probably gets to your quarterback really fast. So you want to kind of avoid that to protect your quarterback. And with that, I think Michigan does win. No, I think they cover the spread. I don't know. I'm staying away. But I think they do win in the big house against unranked Fresno State, which I do think Fresno State is a really good school. I just don't think that they're good enough to to beat Michigan. I do think Michigan is the better school here. So I'm going to roll with Michigan to win that game. And with that being said, that is the end of my Saturday preview for today. I will be back tomorrow to give you your recaps for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and preview Sunday and Monday night games, Sunday LSU, USC, and Monday Boston College and Florida State. So be on the lookout for those. Probably, I would say probably around 1 or 2 o'clock tomorrow. Y'all enjoy these college football games. I wish I could enjoy a lot of them. I will probably watch them later on, but enjoy the early game. Enjoy the Georgia Clemson. Enjoy, I wouldn't say Virginia Tech, Vandy, but Penn State, West Virginia. Enjoy these games. I'm gone. Peace.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.